Right, I've overdone it again. But here we are. Why do I do this to myself? Right, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We are here for the Canadian Grand Prix. No, I don't want that. I want this. That's it. Let's delete that. It's okay. So, yes. Canadian Grand Prix is a go. We have about 10 minutes until we kick off. And there's a couple of things to go over. Let me just quickly do this. It's not gonna work, do we not? Just not feel like it, or what? Go on. Huh? Right, so why is my music not working then? Oh? Okay, well that's concerning. We might have to go with a no music stream. Yeah, that just isn't working for some reason. Okay, that's a little bit odd. This has never, like, failed me. Why is it not working? Okay, anyway. Whilst I try and sort out these tech issues, and which I probably won't be able to resolve and try and sort it out, the thing that we need to speak about is the conditions. It is pissing it down. It is extremely, extremely wet. And according to a weather forecast, it's going to be wet until about halfway through the race, and then it's going to start drying up. So it's sort of half and half. If that actually happens, what a result, because that just sounds amazing. I still can't figure out why this ain't working, but oh. Oh. Well, there we go. That resolved it. We got music back. Let's go, boys. Okay, so let me just quickly turn that off. And then turn that off. Okay. We're good. We're ready to cook. 70 laps ahead of us. Actually, a lot more than I thought. I mean, Imola was 63, I believe. So the fact that Canada, well, I suppose the lap times are a lot less, aren't they? It's like a 1 minute 15. And in the wet, it's going to be even longer, like a 1 minute 28 or something. So we're going to be here for a long, long time.
Alright, I hate these fucking videos, man.
Okay. Let's go. 6 minutes until the formation lap begins. Both of the Saubers are going to start from the pit lane. So yeah. Although to be fair, that literally that means nothing, because I believe they were starting like P19 and 17 anyway, so they ain't really losing out on a lot. Where would have they been? Yeah, 17th and 19th. So starting from the pit lane really doesn't mean anything. Also, Sergio Perez was rumoured to also potentially be starting from the pit lane because they wanted to try and fix his tyre temperature issues, but they've managed to fix it apparently without having to break parc ferme, so he's all good to start P16. Unbelievable starting position for Checo Perez. He's loving life. Anyway, right, so anything else to go over? Don't think so. Jeremy Clarkson has just tweeted, to all new Formula 1 fans, what these guys are about to do is really, really difficult and dangerous too. Oh, fair enough. It's a pretty, piss poor time for the race to be on, because there's just something else that I want to watch a lot more than this, which is shocking. I know that Formula 1 is the entire basis of this YouTube channel, and yet there is something else I'd rather watch at this time. There's also... There's multiple things I'd rather watch than be here, but... we move. When actually is... when's... this. And then we go... here. Oh. Great, so that's another thing I get to miss. I'm not only missing... oh my god, I have to miss Soccer Aid as well. Why is everything at 6 PM? Why is it at 6 PM everything? My god. I'm sad. 3 minutes till formation lap is a go.
Prizes to be won.
Shut up. I know the stream might be a bit boring right now, but I made that same mistake again with starting my stream with... see, when I start my stream, when there's 10 minutes until the session starts, or whatever it is, I can waffle and talk for 5 minutes. Anything more than that and it goes in the bin. I really should have just let this stream go on for an extra 5 on the starting soon. So then I can actually, you know, not have this where I'm basically just quiet. Anyway, let's crack open some caffeine, shall we? Let's do that. That sounds like a fantastic idea. Oh god, I can't open it because I ain't got very long nails. Fantastic. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Bosh. Okay. Ooh, that is not very nice. Carabao, what are we doing? 2 minutes until the formation lap begins. Actually, it might be a bit longer than 2 minutes, because even though it says it starts at 7 PM UK time, Canada is like 54 seconds ahead rather than just exactly a minute, so... Jesus Christ, that Carabao is disgusting. Ugh. Horrid. We drink it anyway, though. Right. Nothing else is really... let me go on my other account that's got more Formula 1 related jizz. That was not the right word to use. Anything... oh! Tyres! That's a fantastic thing. Tyres. Okay, so we actually have some wet runners in this race. We have... the entire grid is on inters. The Hasses are on full wets. Okay. So I wonder what Haas is. I think maybe Haas think it's going to rain more, which, according to weather radars, it's not. There's also a quote. This is the only quote I'll probably say from Red Bull. A quote from Helmut Marko on Checo's exit. He says, "It's not the car. You can see that with Max. I think it's more psychological. It was close, and when conditions change, he finds it much more difficult. But the fact that it's already the third time not in Q3 is painful." A lot of people commenting, why did they re-sign him? Moolah. He brings stupid amounts of moolah. Jack Villeneuve also isn't backing down from his comments about Daniel Ricciardo, saying like he shouldn't be in F1, he's not even that good, he's just old. Let me just quickly check. Oh wait, I forgot to upload my TikToks from yesterday, my reactions to Perez getting eliminated and the ending. I don't even remember. Oh, they only got 900 views. That's a shame. Any comments? Oh, a comment. That's nice. Right, so the formation lap should be underway now. There it is. Bosh. I'm going to refresh live timing. Now, as I do with every single Grand Prix, what I will do is I will watch the Sky broadcast for the first couple, maybe the first lap, maybe even less than a lap, and then I will go to live timing. Or I might just watch the entire Sky broadcast, because remember, I mean, the live timing does offer a lot more, like, info. I can tell you about close battles that, you know, Sky Sports won't show, overtakes at the bottom of the end of the grid, tyres and stuff like that, but the only thing I can really think of live timing that would be useful for today is yellow and red flags, and that's it. Like, obviously, when the Sky Sports broadcast has a yellow flag, it takes like 30 seconds for them to actually switch to what it is. Live timing is instant, so I might watch the entire Sky Sports broadcast for the entirety of this race. So let's pause the live timing, because I don't want it to be too far ahead. But yeah, apparently the weather conditions is going to be wet and raining for halfway, and then the second half is going to start drying, although I believe it's already stopped raining. So, it should just start drying naturally as cars constantly drive by. A reminder of the starting grid today. I feel like that's probably an important thing to look at. Ricardo on the radio. The cell of rain coming should last for around 10 to 15 minutes. Play live timing. Right, so the starting grid is going to be Russell, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Ricardo, Alonso, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, Leclerc, Sainz, Sargent, Magnussen, Gasly, Perez, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bottas, and Joe. And we are about to begin. The cars are coming around the final corner. All lining up. Nicely done. And we are ready for this, bitch. We are so ready. Make sure I actually update the lap counter. And here we go. The final car lining up. It is going to be... who is the final car? Ocon, I believe. Do they have to line up in the 20th grid slot, or can they just go behind, like, go up a few places? I think they go up a few places. Okay, there's the mystery man with a green flag. Flag is waving. There's some overlay in the way. It's already stopped raining, but we are away. Equal start from the front too. Someone's spin on, like, the first corner. That'd be really funny. Going into turn one, Russell keeps the lead. Everyone stays in the same places. Alonso gets ahead of Ricardo. Hamilton losing places. Tsunoda's gaining places. Russell's just gone. Like, he's out of there. He ain't looking back. He's gone, you know, fuck you. Yellow flag, sector one. Instantly gone green, so someone's gone off. To tell you who's gone off, it was Pierre Gasly, I believe, and Sergio Perez. A little bit of an incident going on there. Perez down to P18. So Perez already down to technically last, because the two cars are in the pit lane behind. So, you know, good stuff, Perez. Nice one. Ricardo having an absolute rotter out there at the moment, though. He's already down about 3 places. I mean, of course, you never expect that RB to be up there, but, you know, he's losing a lot of places, especially in the wet. Tsunoda trying to get a move done on one of the Hasses, I believe. So Russell's still in the lead. Everyone's going wide through the hairpin. Oh, the Ferrari's gone very wide, allowing the Haas through. Who is that? Magnussen? Magnussen making places! Go on, K-Mag! What a guy! So the current leaderboard is for Russell P1, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Alonso and Hamilton, Ricciardo, Stroll, Magnussen P9, Leclerc P10. Magnussen now gets past Stroll. Leclerc goes wide. So Leclerc is down a lot of places. Albon's up to P12. Sainz is down to P14. Perez up to P17. Gets past Gasly. So the gained losses, we have Perez down 1. Gasly down 3. Ocon up 2. Sargent down 1. Sainz down 3. Hulkenberg up 4. Albon down 3. Tsunoda down 3. Leclerc up 1. Stroll's the same. Ricciardo down 3. Magnussen up 7. Hamilton up 1. Alonso up 1. And the top 4 stays the same. But the wet tyres looking extremely good, I must say. Like, really good. It's just, as soon as it dries up, even the smallest amount, it's done. As Kevin Magnussen now gets past Lewis Hamilton, and he has so much more grip than any other car on the track. Oh my goodness, K-Mag. What a driver. He's cooking! George Russell on the radio, this level of rain is the worst we expect. Hulkenberg gets past Leclerc. The Hasses are cooking! The Hasses are cooking so bad. Now, Magnussen down the inside of Fernando Alonso. Magnussen on Alonso. Magnussen up to P5! Magnussen P5! What? Oh my goodness, if any of the cars near the bottom, I'm talking Perez, Sainz, even the Williams, if anyone in that bottom, like 10, was on the wet tyres, they'd already be in the points already, because there's just so much more grip. Hulkenberg now chasing down Lance Stroll, and he also, because he's on the wet tyres, has that speed. Down the inside of Stroll, Stroll's gone. Hulkenberg up 8 places, Magnussen up 9 places. Whoever has the strategy team at Haas, absolute geniuses. Now, like I said, as soon as the rain goes away, even the smallest amount, the Inters are going to become strong and they're probably going to be finished. So they need to take priority of these like early laps and then maybe pit on Inters, and they'll still have good pace. Magnussen now chasing down Piastri. He can brake so much later and get such a better exit. He's got much better turning. Up the inside of Piastri, such a better exit. Hamilton fighting Alonso, both on the Inters. Hulkenberg now past Ricciardo up to P8. Magnussen past Piastri. Magnussen is P4. What? What? Huh? Huh? Gasly and Perez, no further investigation, turn 2 collision. Sainz gets past Sargent up to P14. Russell leads by 2.5 seconds over Verstappen. Then there's 2.5 seconds back to Norris. Magnussen 0.2 quicker than Russell on that previous lap. Bear in mind that's the fastest car against the 3rd slowest car. There's that much pace difference. Hulkenberg catching up to Hamilton and Alonso, but the rain is easing up quite quickly. So maybe in another like 1 or 2 laps, the wets are going to be like useless and the Inters are going to be really, really strong. But Leclerc on the radio. We are seeing something strange engine side. We are looking at it. Keep pushing. But what's going to happen is Magnussen, because of how quick he is, he's built a good gap to pit for Inters. Alonso goes very wide. Hulkenberg 2 seconds quicker than Hamilton on that lap. So if there's a Sergio Perez and Gasly collision, does that mean that they both have damage? You'd assume so. I mean, to have a collision and not have damage would be, like, almost impossible. Lap 5 now. Magnussen 1.6 seconds faster than George Russell on that lap. Leclerc on the radio. Alright, so Leclerc's engineer basically saying the engine is finished, but you can keep going. Magnussen sets the fastest lap. Sergio Perez up to P16. Back down to P17. Logan Sargent's gone off somewhere, or that's just a bit of an issue with the leaderboard thing. It's just, when will this rain end? What has happened so far? Magnussen and Hulkenberg are on wet tyres, like full wets. Everyone else on inters. The full wets are considerably quicker. So Magnussen's managed to get up to P4, Hulkenberg P8, and they're both seconds quicker than George Russell, the leader. That's what's happened. It's incredible. But like I said, as soon as that rain dies off, even the smallest amount, they are going to be the slowest cars on track. So we're on lap 6 now, out of 70. Leclerc still P11, Sainz still P14, Checo Perez still P17. And not making any impact on the likes of Ocon or Sargent. Hulkenberg stuck behind Hamilton and Alonso. Leclerc on the radio. People on inters now going faster than extreme wets. And the sun has arrived! My goodness, the sun has risen! The sun is here! Oh my god! The sun has come! Jesus! Out of nowhere, the sun is shining. So this track is going to be starting to dry at insane rates. And it seems that through Sector 1 and 2, the wets are quicker. But Sector 3, yellow flag Sector 2, it's Logan Sargent. Logan Sargent is off. And he's in the wall, but he can recover that. So that should just go back to a green flag. Maybe a VSC. But he's alright, he can carry on. Green flag again, and we are back to running. So Sargent already going off. George Russell sets the fastest lap. Verstappen then has the fastest lap. Magnussen now 1.6 seconds slower than Russell. That's what I was saying. As Alonso goes way off the track, that's going to give Hamilton a free place here. They're going wheel to wheel. We're on lap 7. Will Hamilton go for it? No, he's going to be a little bitch and pull out. Hamilton goes wide, goes ahead of Alonso, but of course he is going to let Alonso go by. Whoa! Alonso has a big skid. Stop saying yielding, Brundle, for fuck's sake. Stop saying that word, please. So now the Hasses are going to be extremely slow, but they're still chilling in P4 and 8. Obviously, they still have to get the moves done, like the other cars. They don't just pass for free. Leclerc radio. How much am I losing down the straights? Quite a bit, but keep pushing. Whoa! Leclerc is losing half a second down the straights. Whoa! George Russell sets the fastest lap. Valtteri Bottas gets past Gasly. Gasly gets past Valtteri Bottas. Kevin Magnussen pits and he's going to put on the intermediate tyres. So here we go. Oh, it's a very slow... Wait, they weren't ready. They weren't ready. Oh. Right, so Magnussen's basically gone, right, I want to pit this lap. His team weren't ready, and that's lost him about 6 seconds. So he's now down to P12. If you give him, oh no, P13, you give him extra 6 seconds, he's up to P8. Horrible, horrible call by Magnussen. You just did not need to, like, call the pits yourself. Just do another lap. Or call it way earlier. I want to see the Sergio Perez collision at the back. We're watching a race replay of the start. What was the Perez collision? Oh, Gasly just pushed him off. Okay, fair enough. Oh, so I think Gasly spun and then crashed into Perez. Yeah, there's nowhere for Perez to go though, Martin Brundle. Stop being a stupid prick for once in your life. Sargent going off track, signs on the radio. Irrelevant technical stuff. So this is where Sargent went off and caused a yellow flag. Here he goes, and just aquaplanes off. There you go. Daniel Ricciardo being noted for a full start. Kevin Magnussen now down to P14 on the Inters. Hulkenberg still chilling in P7 though. 2 seconds back to Ricciardo. So he's cooking. The wets are actually still good in Sector 1. And it is drying up seriously quick. There's barely any spray on the racing line. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, has a 1.6 second gap to Russell. Leclerc now says impossible to overtake with the issue, so they might just retire the car, but he is still in the points though. It's now lap 10, so we are officially a 7th of the way through this race, and it's going to be dry very, very soon. The actual racing line is already dry. The racing line is dry enough for slicks, but you don't want to do that risk. Like, at all. Russell goes a bit wide. So there's actually going to be a break in the rain, but apparently the rain is going to return at some point. Drivers being told to cool the tyres, so that means drive off the racing line. Russell sets the fastest lap. Verstappen immediately beats it. The gap is now 1.2 seconds. Of course, there's no DRS because of wet conditions. 1.1. Carlos Sainz still in P13. Checo Perez still in P16. Daniel Ricciardo still in the points. Alonso up to P5. Still battling with Hamilton. Hulkenberg has dropped 10 seconds off Hamilton now. Ricciardo is right up his arse. He could get a move done here, honestly, Ricciardo. Up to P7, that'd be nice. Verstappen half a second quicker than Russell through that previous lap. Getting cooked. Under investigation, false start for Ricciardo. This is the... Oh, wow, that's the situation. Hulkenberg is holding up. He's holding up Stroll... No, Hulkenberg is holding up Ricciardo, Stroll, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Albon, and Sainz in a massive, like, queue of traffic. And then there's a 3-second gap back to K-Mag, a 2-second gap back to Ocon, a 2-second gap back to Checo, a 6/10 gap to Gasly, a 2.5-second gap to Bottas, 6 seconds to Joe, excuse me, and 7 seconds back to Sargent. What are the lap times? I'm sort of curious. Lap 11. Perez about a second slower than everyone right now. "15 laps, 5-minute rain shower." Daniel Ricciardo going for the move on Nico Hulkenberg, round the outside into chicane. That's actually a very important move for Ricciardo, because it means Ricciardo can now escape from Nico Hulkenberg, whilst everyone else behind is stuck behind him. Here comes Lance Stroll going for the move on Hulkenberg in his home race, doesn't get the move done. This is big, very big for Ricciardo. He can now just piss off, leave Hulkenberg in the dust. Meanwhile, the likes of Stroll and Leclerc are stuck behind him, Hulkenberg. This is good. Stroll gets past Hulkenberg as well now. I feel like Hulkenberg should have pitted a bit earlier. Although it's interesting, because Magnussen was up to P4, Hulkenberg P8, and now Magnussen is back down to P14. Somehow. I don't even know how he's managed that. Probably because he had an 8-second stop. If you give him an extra 6 seconds... Obviously, a normal pit stop's about 2 seconds. So you give him an extra 6 seconds. He goes all the way up ahead of this traffic and actually up to P8. So Magnussen really to blame himself for that incident of just calling his team to like pit when they weren't ready. 0.7 between Russell and Verstappen now. 6 seconds back to Norris. Tsunoda gets past Nico Hulkenberg, as does Leclerc. Next up is going to be Alex Albon. Hulkenberg has to pit. Russell on the radio. Daniel Ricciardo! Daniel Ricciardo receives a penalty. Doesn't say how long. A 5-second penalty for a false start. Oh, that's a big shame. That is actually so sad. Hulkenberg finally pits, but that's such a shame. He was actually looking good for points, but that's just gone now. I reckon we're not far away from DRS being enabled. Alonso going wide, Hamilton on the exit. Still this battle going on between the two, trying to cool down the tyres by driving offline. But it's tricky. You got to drive offline to cool the tyres, but stay in the slipstream so the car ahead doesn't pull away. Russell on the radio. I think you'll probably be slick tyres within 20 minutes. Sergio Perez up to P5. Oh, no, that's just Hulkenberg pitted. .6 between the top two. Hamilton 1.5 behind Alonso. Nice, 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 nice. Albon only 1 place off the points. Rain in 18 minutes is what we're being told. Oh, shit. Anything on Twitter to look at? No. So this is going to be very interesting because the sun is out. So you're telling me right now the sun is shining bright and in 15 minutes it's going to turn all gloomy and start raining again? Bollocks. Still 0.6 between Russell and Verstappen. We are definitely... Yeah, this is honestly very close to slick conditions. Very, very close to DRS. Lando Norris has caught up by 2 seconds on Russell and Verstappen. Lap 16 now. Norris was 1 second faster than Verstappen on that lap. He is cooking. Oh, he is seriously cooking. 3.4 now. He's doing it in Imola. He's doing it in Canada. What a driver. Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, all stuck in this massive traffic queue. Mediums to the end? Really? Both Russell and Verstappen driving extremely offline to try and cool their inters down. Obviously, you want your inters cold. That's the point, because they're driving in the wet. They stop working in the wet when they're warm. The track's dry, so they're not getting cold by driving in water. So, it's going a bit wrong. Verstappen goes off! Verstappen went off! That's going to give Norris a little bit of fun. Go on, Norris, get involved! So Verstappen loses a bit of bodywork and goes over the grass. 2 seconds now between the top two. So he lost 1.2 seconds. Now Norris is right in the mixture. So going into turn 1, he braked. Understeer. Understeer. Bosh. Oh my... Norris is taking cooling his tyres to a serious extreme. Let's go, Norris! Sector 1, dry tyres are faster. DRS enabled, apparently. Can we have an official thing? Oscar Piastri fastest lap at 26.4. No official thing at DRS being enabled. Is Martin Brundle talking out of his arse? Let's see. Will Lando's rear wing open? Yes, it does. DRS enabled. This race is about to become a lot more intriguing. Yuki Tsunoda has been overtaken by Alex Albon. Alex Albon in the points. Yuki Tsunoda has overtaken Alex Albon. Yuki Tsunoda in the points. If Norris gets a good exit here, he can easily get ahead of Verstappen. And he doesn't. Okay. 0.6 between them. What can Norris do with DRS? Let's see what the advantage is. Okay, yeah. It's about 0.3, 0.4 out of the chicane. Not the chicane. Out of the hairpin. For, exit a hairpin. If you're 3/10 back, you can get a move done. But anything more, you've had it. Both Verstappen and Norris have caught Russell by a second on that lap, so they're cooking. "10 minutes until there's rain, so maybe the drivers are going to stick out on the inters until the rain comes again, because then obviously the inters will be good. There's no point pitting for softs, and then it starts raining and you got to pit for inters. Whoa, Lando got a bit close to Verstappen there. Can he get an exit? He has got an exit. The gap is going to be 0.4 out of the hairpin. That is borderline enough to get a move done. He might have to send it, though. Here he goes. He's going for it. And yeah, it's nowhere near. Both of the... Even with DRS, the cars at like the end of the straight are at the same speeds-ish. So... you can't really get a move done. Norris sets another fastest lap of the race. A 25.7. Piastri then nicks it off him. 25.5. Oh. Oscar Piastri saying on the radio that even if the rain comes, we will need a new set of inters, because even though we've been keeping these a bit passive, you know, keeping it a bit, keeping it a bit preservative, they still need new inters. Dive bomb. Boring. So an issue that Norris has now is that Verstappen might have DRS. Let's check the rear wing. He doesn't. Here comes Lando Norris to the outside of Verstappen. Go on, Norris. Norris takes P2. What a driver. Lando Norris, P2 in this race. What a guy. Absolute legend of the game. Go on, son. Another fastest lap for Lando Norris as well, 25.4, which is a 10th quicker than his teammate, but then his teammate nabs it again. Oscar Piastri had a 25.4 as well, so this was Lando, 0.4 of a second behind Verstappen, used a bit of his battery to the outside and got past before the corner. Lovely. And now Norris can chase after Russell, and he's right up his arse. He's right up his arsehole. Alex Albon has just overtaken Charles Leclerc for P9. So now Norris on the exit of the hairpin, 0.4 of a second. Has he got enough to get a move done? Tsunoda and Albon incident noted. Here comes Lando Norris. Does he have the straight line speed to get past Russell? He goes to the outside. Lando Norris takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. And Russell goes off. Russell goes off. Verstappen goes through. No way. Wow. Russell, you have bottled that, son. You have bottled that. My goodness. Lando Norris, fastest lap of the race at 25.2. This time Piastri doesn't nab it back. Norris a 2-second lead over Verstappen. And then Russell goes wide at the chicane and allows Verstappen through. Wow. Valtteri Bottas overtakes Sergio Perez. Nice. Unless they've pitted him to try something, I mean, you might as well. Here's Alex Albon's move on Leclerc. Keep in mind, by the way, Leclerc is losing half a second down the straight. He's got an engine problem. So, yeah. So, did Perez pit? No, he's back ahead of Bottas. No, he just got overtaken by Bottas. Cool. Lap 23, I've been forgetting to update it. Lando Norris sets another fastest lap. Has a 4-second lead to Verstappen now. Alonso and Hamilton split by 4 tenths, P5 and 6. I think the plan for Norris and McLaren is to try and push out a lead and then put new inters on when it starts raining again. Alonso going very slow, almost colliding. But they move. Piastri, by the way, Piastri is only a second off Russell now. Ooh, Piastri's got himself right in the mixture. Norris has a 5-second lead now. Apparently, we're getting rain in 3 minutes' time, so about 2.5 laps. Let's see. Now, Sector 2 is wet conditions. Sector 1 and 3 is dry. Oh, no, I'm looking at this track completely wrong. They've got the track the other way round for some reason. Like, rather than the checkered flag, like the start-finish line being here, and like the back straight being up here, they've switched it round. So that was really confusing me. So actually, it's wet in Sector 1, and then dry in 2 and 3. Got it. 5.7 seconds between Verstappen and Norris, or Norris and Verstappen now. I think, yeah, that is the plan. Pull out a lead, pit on new inters, cook. Let's see what this rain is. It should be about now where we start seeing this rain. The clouds have got a lot more moody. A lot more grey. Piastri right up the arse of Russell. Russell having some little, you know, he's getting snappy, do you know what I mean? He's getting loosey-goosey. So yeah, that's everyone's plan. Everyone's plan is to just put a new set of inters on if it starts raining again. If it doesn't start raining again, probably softs or mediums maybe. Piastri right up the arse of Russell. Can he actually get a move done? Norris gains a second on Verstappen through the second sector. Piastri doesn't get a move done. Hamilton 0.2 from Alonso. Doesn't go for it. Sergio Perez still in P16, 5 seconds off Gasly. Sainz and Leclerc down in P11 and 12. Yellow flag, sector 1. It's Logan Sargent again. Now, is he going to get that car going again? If there's a safety car, what do you do? Piastri almost going for it. Norris has an 11-second lead somehow. Safety car out. Safety car out. Now, what do McLaren do? Norris does have time to go into the pit still. Logan Sargent can't get his car going again. What do you do in this situation? Do you put on fresh inters or do you go for the slicks? Oh no. Shit. Shit. Oh, Lando Norris has just blown this away, I think. So Norris doesn't pit, stays out. Norris now behind the safety car. If he pits, he's going to lose so much place. Like, so many places. There might be a red flag. Thing is, he had time to pit as well. He had a lot of time to pit, so I don't know why they didn't. So this is what happens to Sargent. He's making his way, brakes, turns in, on the curb, fine, turns left and just loses the car. And then I'm surprised he couldn't get that going again. He just didn't even hit the wall, he just spun. So there is a chance here that Lando can pit and still come out in P1, but it's going to be very, very close. Norris is in the pits, but I don't think he's quick enough. Lando Norris comes out P3. Lando Norris comes out P3. Yeah. That's... yeah. And I believe they might be retiring Daniel Ricciardo's car. Oh no, they took his penalty. Fair enough. That's annoying, actually. If Lando Norris pits on that lap, he had time to do that. Verstappen on the radio. Okay, Gian Piero Lambiase just talking bollocks. No shit, Perez hasn't shown pace with his teammate. He never has, and probably never will. Huh. Crane on track, lifting that Sergeant car up, getting a lovely view of the floor, although no one's going to be copying it because it's Williams. Alright, this is gonna be tricky. Let me, bollocks. Double bollocks. Hang on, I'm trying to take a screenshot. It isn't going very well. Okay. Lap 28 now. So this is Daniel Ricciardo's false start. Let's have a look. Is it a false start? Let's have a butchers. Well, obviously it is. That is not a false start. What the fuck? Safety car ending. I'm so confused. They've put Leclerc on slicks. I think they're retiring Leclerc. He's got his helmet lid up. I think he's done. Leclerc on the radio. Okay, not sure what that was about. Changing some settings to try and fix the engine issue, I believe. So safety car is going to end on lap 29, so we will have 42 laps of running. Here we go then. Race restart now. Verstappen out the final corner and he has gone. He is away and we are off to begin lap 30 of this race. Top four stay the same. Fifth and sixth, okay, all of the cars staying the same. Ocon hasn't pitted yet, and he's up to P9, so this is going to be interesting to see what his pace is like on some dead inters. Leclerc's engineer says we think we have fixed the engine issue. And he's on soft tyres. That could become the greatest strategy in history if it works. If it doesn't work, you just be like, well, you gave it a go. No further investigation for the Russell rejoining unsafely. Leclerc on the radio. So basically, what Leclerc's engineer is saying is that it's going to rain for only 2 laps, and then it's going to dry again. So if Leclerc just keeps the car on track, as Albon overtakes Ricciardo, if Leclerc just keeps it on track, they will start flying. So the rain has restarted, but it doesn't seem that heavy, can't lie. Not much spray at all. There's a little bit, but nothing crazy. Perez is up to P16, that's where he was anyway. What a driver. DRS disabled, official. Lap 31, so this is Leclerc trying to keep it on track. Leclerc will probably get lapped here. Sainz has almost just clotted Barry Bottas up the arse. This is Albon getting past Ricciardo. Round the outside? Oh, shit. Whoa! Alex Albon's just done the greatest overtake I've ever seen. Oh, it's just pissing me off. Fuck you. Right. This. Right. Lap 32. 1 second between Verstappen and Russell. Norris 2.6 seconds back. Remember, the McLarens become really fast when it's in between inters and dries. Leclerc's come back in the pits. They're either going to retire the car or put inters on. They're going to put inters on. Poor Leclerc, man. Poor Leclerc. Whoa. Someone just clotted someone else up the arse and there's a bit of damage, a bit of debris flying. Oh yeah, no, the rain has arrived. Oh, one of the houses has gone off. Can Sergio Perez overtake a car? Somehow he doesn't. Poor Leclerc, man. Poor Leclerc. He's just on his own. He's about to get lapped by Verstappen. This is such a sad time for him. He's 1 minute behind Hülkenberg. So this was Carlos Sainz. He brakes, he brakes, he brakes, he brakes. Fine. Oh, he might have got the yeah. Right end plate. Right end plate for Sainz is gone. So Sainz has damage. He might not be allowed to continue with that. I think he'll be okay. Why is it that, like, every driver I support is shit? And in this case, Sergio Perez. Like, how is... I mean, I know Perez probably has a lot of damage, but you can't be P16. What's his lap time? So Verstappen done a 30.7, Perez a 32.3, so 1.5 seconds faster. Also, the old Inters don't look that bad. Tsunoda is still P7, Ocon is still P10, Bottas is P12. Holding on. Good pace. .9 between Verstappen and Russell. Norris is caught up quite a lot, actually. From 2.7 to 1.8, so 9/10. Remember, as soon as it starts drying and they're still on the Inters, that's when the McLarens, like, wake up and start giving it the fucking beans. Lance Stroll goes off. Race control, Sainz, Bottas, Ricciardo, turn 10 incident noted. Why are you involving Ricciardo in that? He didn't do nothing. Lando going offline to try and cool his tyres down. So now it should start drying again. Because they said it was only a couple laps of rain, and that seems to be the case. Wait, how's Hamilton there? Where the fuck did he come from? Hamilton's just joined the party. Alright. Hello, Hamilton. How are you doing? When did he get in the mixture? 1.6 between Verstappen and Russell, about to cross the line to start lap 36. We're not even halfway through yet. Turns out we're actually over halfway through. I'm just not very good at maths. So that was actually the halfway point. That was the halfway lap that we just finished. And we are now 51% through-ish. Leclerc is about to get lapped. He hasn't been lapped yet. Martin Brundle just said edging. Everyone hold up. Race has got a bit dull. I'm a bit tired of it. Nothing's really going on at this stage. Nothing's really going to happen for a couple laps until it starts really drying again. Lewis Hamilton is cooking right now. Leclerc has blue flags, but he's got a decent gap ahead. I don't know why he should. Leclerc's been lapped. There it is, official. 07. Unlucky, mate. Now he's getting out of everyone's way. No further investigation between the Sainz and Bottas crash, so Sainz doesn't need to pit even though he has damage. Norris 1 second to Russell. Verstappen has gained on Russell by a second. Verstappen cooking, as you'd expect. Dry line is back, so McLaren should be quick again. And there is also a nice little train building up. We have Alex Albon, Ocon, Ricardo, Bottas, Sainz, Gasly, Magnussen and Perez. All in this massive queue. Perez potentially going for a move. Sergio Perez! He's done an overtake! Yeah! Come on, Checo! Let's go, Checo! Ho, ho, ho. And Checo Perez has been... No, he hasn't. He nearly did. He almost got done by K-Mag, but don't worry. He continues. Perez up to P15. Come on. Nico Hulkenberg replay potentially getting a move done on Zhou Guanyu round the outside into the final chicane. That's a nice little overtake. Lovely stuff. Well done, Nico Hulkenberg. Where are you up to now? Like, very low down, I believe, like P18 or something. Yeah, P17. Tsunoda still hasn't pitted, but his pace is very good. And now it's starting to dry again. Now it's going to start drying. This is going really well for people that haven't pitted, being Tsunoda and Ocon and Bottas. Sainz going a little bit wide in both turn 1 and 2. Maybe inviting Gasly to get involved, will he? Go on, Gazza. Go on, Gazza. No, not enough. The sun is shining again, so DRS is going to be re-enabled pretty soon. Keep in mind, by the way, when the safety car came in, we were doing like 31s, 32s. Now we're doing 25s. Wow. Lap 40 now. We have 30 laps remaining still. And we've already been here an hour, and we're only just over halfway through. DRS enabled. That is big. That is huge. And now this is where McLaren become quick. Russell on the radio. It's going to be turns 1 and 2 again. Still very wet. Everywhere else is drying. That's good info. Haas on Haas conflict going on right now. Hulkenberg's gone a bit slippery. lost a lot of time. At the moment, Sector 1 and 2 is wet. Sector 3 is dry. There it is. I honestly think Perez just slap on the dry tyres and just see what happens. He's in P15. The worst that can happen is that he DNFs, and the absolute best case where he currently is to finish about P14. Battery level. Hamilton deployed 50% that lap. I think. I don't even know what that graphic means. It's very confusing. Lando Norris sets the fastest lap. Hamilton then nabs the fastest lap on him as we begin lap 41 of this race. No, not lap 412. Lap 41. Thank you. Hamilton half a second quicker than Piastri on that previous lap. Gasly pits. The first driver to pit. Is he going to go for slicks? Let's have a look. What is... Yes, Gasly going onto the slicks. The first driver to do so. Hard tyres for Gasly. And he's away. So this is where other drivers and teams can see if the dries are actually good. So yeah, every single team is now going to be looking at Gasly. If the pace is alright, everyone's going to go onto slicks. Yellow flag, Sector 1. That's Gasly, and it's gone green. I think Gasly's already gone off. I think Gasly went off instantly. Lap 42 now. Gaps between Verstappen and Russell, as Russell sets the fastest lap, is going to be a 2.4. Norris 1.1. Piastri goes wide. No, it's not. Norris goes wide. Oh, shit. Oh, never mind. Norris is just... He's gone off but come back third. Magnussen pits. What's Gasly's pace looking like? Let's take a look at the sector times. You do have to give it a couple laps to warm up, but at the moment, Gasly, if I refresh live timing... So this is where Lando Norris went off. He brakes, just skids off. Done. So looking at Gasly's sector times, he is doing a 27.4, which is 2 seconds slower than the intermediate runners. Oh, Brundle, we need to stop saying retardation. Russell, I lost a lot of time from Norris avoiding action, 1.5 seconds. Okay, Leclerc pits again. Russell fastest sector 2, a 26.3. Gasly. So Gasly starts. This is the lap, and Leclerc's retiring. That's just unfun. Right, what is Gasly's sectors? The Inters are doing mid 26s through the second sector. First sector is mid 24s. Gasly. Remember, mid-24s. Magnussen also on dries, I think, as well as Bottas. So, Gasly at 25.9, so slower than every single... Yeah, this is not ready for dries just yet. He's not improving on his own times. It's not slick ready at all. Leclerc's having an absolute rotter, though. Sergio Perez up to P13. What a driver. Do you know what I mean? And Hamilton is pitting. It is too early for slick tyres. Lando Norris sets the fastest lap right up Russell's arse. This is definitely too early for Lewis Hamilton. Gasly, Magnussen and Bottas and Sergio Perez is pitting as well. This is way too early. What are we doing, guys? The bottom 7 are throwing. This is not... It's not slick time at all. It just isn't. It's not. It is nowhere near slick conditions yet. Completely forgot to be reading chat this entire race. I just keep forgetting to. Lando Norris on George Russell round the hairpin. I don't think I don't think Norris can get a move done, but it's not. So Perez on the mediums, Sainz on the mediums, Ricciardo on the mediums, Hamilton on the mediums. I think now is slick time. Now is slick time, I think. Yes, everyone is coming into the pits except the top 3. Verstappen being told to box. It is now time for slicks. Here we go. Ted Kravitz has just annihilated Sauber and said, Joe Guan, you're having troubles in the pits. Unfortunately, that's not new. Lando Norris stays out an extra lap. I'm not sure about that one. We'll see how it goes for Lando. I don't like that at all. From Lando Norris. Verstappen out on mediums. George Russell slow stop out on hard tyres. So Piastri actually comes out way behind Russell and Verstappen, even further than he was before he pitted. Norris incident, leaving the track and gaining an advantage under investigation. That's a problem, because that was actually like a proper thing. We still have 25 laps left. Sector times. Lando Norris improving at 24.2. Let's see. Lando Norris doing one more lap on the Inters again. Big skid out the final corner though. He needs to give it the absolute fucking Heinz beans. The Heinz baked beans sets another fastest lap. Let's go Norris. Let's go Norris. Sergio Perez getting cooked by Nico Hulkenberg. Sector 1 and 2 is not dry enough for slicks yet. Norris is still quicker than everyone. Norris is like still quicker than everyone. Here comes Alex Albon and Esteban Ocon too far back. Daniel Ricciardo right up their arse as well. If one of these two have a little bit of a moment, it's all good for Ricciardo. Norris being told to give it everything on this lap, has a 22-second lead. Sainz's fastest lap, but it's now time for slicks. Norris needs to get in now. Get in there. Gasly fastest lap at 22.7. Verstappen is starting to catch Norris. Norris comes in. So Norris comes on into the pits and goes on medium compound tyres. It's a good stop. It's a good stop for Lando Norris. Max Verstappen takes the lead on the exit of the pits. There it is. I should have commentated that a bit better. But Lando Norris, it was too wet in the pits. It was way too wet in the pit lane. That extra lap that Lando was done might have just cost him this. Gasly sets another fastest lap. The hards seem to be a lot better than the mediums right now. Daniel Ricciardo pits, I believe. Nope, just another issue with the leaderboard. This is very bad for Lando Norris. Like, he can't get tyre warm up. Russell going for a move. Norris cuts him off. Later, bitch. You lose. Verstappen fastest lap at 20.4. Verstappen on the radio. The ride is very, very bad. It's like a locked suspension again. Lando Norris on the exit. This is where it all went wrong. It's so wet on the pit exit. And a massive skid. Unlucky for Lando, but yeah, I think he had to pit one lap earlier. Green flag as well. Someone's gone off. We don't know who, but someone has. Norris needs to get these tyres warm and then just start flying, if that's even a thing. Russell, Norris locks up. He's done. Russell will overtake Norris down the back straight here for free. Here comes Russell to the outside of Norris. Russell goes through up to P2. And Norris is just not getting his tyres warm. Lewis Hamilton goes off track somewhere. The hard tyres are actually considerably better than the mediums at this current time. Verstappen on the radio. I can't touch any curbs. It almost knocks me out. Alright. Sergio Perez, 3 tenths back from Daniel Ricciardo, could potentially go for a move down the back straight. Gasly's right up his arse though. Russell is now cooking Verstappen. I think the hards are just considerably better than the mediums at the moment. Don't know why, but they just are. Like, Gasly is seriously cooking, and he's on hards. Stroll's cooking, he's on hards. Alonso, not so much. Lap 51, so we have 20 laps remaining. George Russell goes through on Lando. Nice little replay. Well done. Right, here we go. So, Lando getting his tyres nice and warm. Russell, half a second quicker than Verstappen on lap 50. Although the gap has gone up since then by about half a second, back up to 4.1. Lando Norris has DRS on Russell. Although there is above a second, but he was crucially under a second over the DRS detection. Russell off! Russell going wide! Lando goes through! See you later, bitch! That's bad for Norris, though, because now Russell's going to have DRS. Oh, Lando gets a gorgeous exit, though. And who has DRS? It is Russell. Come on, Lando. Defend. Defense. 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 Yeah! Lando stays ahead of Russell. Russell goes off. Allows Lando through, and then Lando holds on down the straight. Verstappen sets the fastest lap at 18.1. Sergio Perez still struggling to get past Ricciardo. He is just the worst driver in the world, isn't he? Let's be honest. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap. George Russell goes, fuck! And Toto Wolff on the radio goes, focus, George, focus. So this is George Russell going off. He goes onto the... Oh, he got wide there on the curb. Got on the grass. He braked too little. He took too much speed. Does George Russell just make too many mistakes in high pressure moments? Quote by David Croft. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. George Russell definitely makes too many mistakes under pressure. Yellow flag, sector 2. Sergio Perez is off. Why? Why is it the only driver I like is so shit? And Perez is out because he's broken his rear wing. For fuck's sake. Don't worry, Perez. We regain next race. Don't worry, mate. We regain next week. Can we have a replay of what happened to Perez or not? So Perez does get back to the pits. Now, are they going to retire the car, or are they just going to repair his rear wing? Alex Albon and Sainz. What the fuck is going on there? Sainz and Albon have come together. What a shame for Alex Albon running in the points. So Sainz and Albon have a crash. And there's Sergio Perez debris in... And we have a safety car. That could be a red flag. We've had no replays from anything right now, but what's happened is Albon has crashed off, which is a shame because he was in the points. Sainz has spun off, but he keeps going. Sergio Perez breaks his rear wing and retires. So this was Perez making his way. Turns in, goes wide, loses the rear, smashes the wall, So that's Perez just being a fucking idiot, basically. Fucking idiot. And this was the Sainz Albon. No, this is just a this is Gasly's view of... So this was Albon and Sainz. Let's see what happens here. So Sainz brakes. Sainz is good. Oh my god. Sainz spins and collects Alex Albon. In the same place as Checo. Sainz spins in the exact same place that Perez did. And George Russell pits. And Hamilton. Ew, everyone else has stayed out. Ew. Fascinating stuff, really. Lap 55 now. We still have 15 laps left. Carlos Sainz also retiring. So that's going to be 5 retirees. Why did I hate that word with such a deep passion. I'm so sorry. And fun fact, by the way, Zhou Guanyu is still behind Sainz. Okay, so Verstappen, 9-lap-old mediums, Norris, 7-lap mediums, Piastri, 10-lap mediums, Russell, brand new mediums, Hamilton, brand new hards. That's a horrible accident, really. Not like in terms of like the look, just the fact that Sainz has just spun on his own and collected Alex Albon is so sad. Checo's fucking crying. Checo's fucking crying. Checo's fucking crying. He's not actually crying. It's just, I'm English. I like to chant songs insulting people. Norris on the radio. Engineer, we don't see anything on the radar, but big showers are popping up around, so we can't rule it out. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing. No idea when the safety car's coming in, but we have just started lap 57, so we have about 14, 13 laps remaining. So Zhou Guanyu, the only lap driver, goes through, and he's now going to go all the way around and rejoin at the back. See, what's annoying here is that the safety car has come out when the track is drying. So, Norris and Piastri were quickest when it was drying, and you've got like old Inters on drying track conditions. Now the safety car is out in the dry conditions, Norris and Piastri can no longer take advantage of that, which means they've got to try and beat Verstappen on pure pace, which I don't think they can do. They're not that quick in the race. I'm like, it's like, imagine if the race was perfectly dry for the entire duration of it. It would probably be, you know, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren. Safety car ending, by the way, at the end of this lap. I might try and have a piss just before we get back underway. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go have a piss. I'm going to leave the at on, because why not? And when I come back, the safety car should be coming in. Let's go. Final 13 laps. Let's have it. Oh, look at that for some perfect timing. The green flag is out. Let's stand up for this restart. Why not? Let's see what happens then. We have Verstappen, we've got Norris, we've got Piastri right up each other's arse. Verstappen trying to warm them tyres as quickly as possible. Doing some quick swerving left and right. Look at him go. X is at the chicane and we are back underway for the final 12 laps of this race. And the second safety car restart, all drivers remain in their same places. No overtakes going on between the top 10. Looking back, no overtakes at all from the safety car restart. Although, you know, an overtake at the safety car restart in general is quite rare at this track because of the limited overtaking opportunity. So going through sector 1, Verstappen already has a 1.4 second lead over Lando Norris. Then there's 2 seconds back. No mind, I was going to say 2 seconds back from Norris, but this is gap to leader, so Piastri is, you know, I can't be asked doing the maths, it's quite difficult to work out. They're within DRS, let's just put it like that. Now remember, for this lap, DRS isn't enabled, I don't think, but next lap, DRS is re-enabled, so that's when people are going to start cooking. Daniel Ricciardo still in the points, sitting in P10 with Gasly right behind him on the hard tyres. Yuki Tsunoda in P8, so at the moment it's a double points for RB, 1 points finish for Alpine, double points for Aston, double points for Mercedes, double points for McLaren, and singular points for Red Bull, as Sergio Perez has been himself. Going out the final chicane to begin lap 60, Max Verstappen a 1.8 second lead already. And he is fast. He is very fast indeed. Like, seriously. Investigation after the race for Sergio Perez for releasing his car in an unsafe condition. 10 laps remaining, well, actually technically 11 laps remaining. DRS has been enabled. But Norris is really slow. Verstappen already 2 seconds ahead of Norris. Hamilton right up his teammate's arse. Alonso dropping back a little bit, as is Stroll. Ricciardo within DRS of Ocon, and Ocon hasn't got DRS on Tsunoda. That could be big. Oh no, he does. No, Ocon does have DRS on Tsunoda. I just can't read. Although if Tsunoda cooks a little bit more, this could be a very good overtaking opportunity for Ricciardo, making an RB 8 and 9, which of course gets you 6 points, which is huge. Ten laps remaining. Lap 61 begins. Kevin Magnussen, what's happening here? Goes wide over the grass. Carries on. Verstappen is seriously cooking right now. He hasn't taken the fastest lap, but the gaps are getting quite large. .1 between Verstappen and Lando Norris. The fact that, see, this is what makes Verstappen such a great driver. Is the fact that he's putting that Red Bull where it's not supposed to be. The Red Bull is the 3rd or 4th quickest car in the race. Behind the Mercedes, behind McLaren, behind Ferrari. Now, of course, you can chuck Ferrari out the picture because they were, like, low down. So Verstappen should be really 4th or 5th, and yet he's currently leading and cooking. Esteban Ocon, by the way, has got ahead of Tsunoda and is up to P8. Tsunoda and Ricciardo, P9 and 10. Maybe Tsunoda can just give Ricciardo some DRS and they can hold on to a P9 and 10, which is still 3 points. Or they can try and go a double overtake Ocon. Turn 12 incident involving Gasly and Hulkenberg, no investigation. I don't even remember that. I don't know what that's about. Lewis Hamilton dive-bombing Oscar Piastri. Never mind, it's George Russell. You know, George Russell dive-bombing Oscar Piastri. George Russell with DRS. This should be a very easy overtake for George Russell. DRS, round the outside. He's gone. Fatty's your aunt, Bob's your uncle, 07, see you later. But Oscar Piastri has DRS as well. I didn't even know that. Never mind. Oscar Piastri stays in P3. Fair enough. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Lando Norris still 2 seconds back. The gap has stayed the same as we enter the final 7 laps of this race. Piastri has been told to right, so Piastri has said, his engineer has asked him, can you challenge Verstappen? Piastri has gone, no, I need to keep Russell back. So the McLarens are probably going to settle for a 2 and 3 here, as Norris loses another 7 tenths through Sector 2. My goodness, Verstappen's quick through there. Piastri has no DRS. This is actually a big issue for McLaren. Can Russell get a move done? He's going to the outside. Piastri holding on. It's going to be a collision. Russell drives into Piastri. Russell drives into Piastri and loses places to Hamilton now as well. So here's a replay. So Russell goes to the outside and then just drives into Piastri. That's just weird. So Russell obviously thought that Piastri would, like, go back and Russell can just sweep around the outside and just sort of drove straight into Piastri without even really looking. Alright. Now we're looking at a battle between Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hülkenberg for P8 down to P12. Max Verstappen sets another fastest lap, has a 3-second lead over Norris. You have to imagine Verstappen is going to go and win this. Can Tsunoda get the move done on Ocon to get P8? Martin Brundle, I wouldn't call this a ferocious battle. There's not been a single overtake attempt thus far. Ricciardo is being told he's allowed to fight Yuki. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Will they actually have a bit of a scrap? So let's see if Ricciardo actually fights. If he gets a chance to, that is. He might just not. Is Oscar Piastri trying to hold back Lewis Hamilton? Now remember, Russell drove into Piastri. This time, Hamilton gets past Piastri for free. Lewis Hamilton into the podium places as we enter the final 5 laps of this race. The hard tires are cooking right now. Hamilton not really gaining a lot of Norris though. The hard tyres are quicker than the mediums, but not by much. Hamilton is still 2 seconds back from Norris. Tsunoda's gone off somewhere. Tsunoda's off. A rare mistake for Yuki Tsunoda. George Russell past Piastri. Russell up to P4, Piastri down to P5, but Tsunoda's off. And Tsunoda's in the wall somewhere. And I think he's kept going, but he's gone off. That is such a shame for RB. And he does get going again. A double points finish looking guaranteed for Tsunoda. Here's what happened. He goes into the chicane. He locks up and goes on the grass. And then spins. And just misses the wall. Yeesh. Ah! 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 That's so close. Ah! Tsunoda about 4 millimeters away from absolutely clotting the inside wall of the track. Tsunoda now out of the race. He's going to keep going, but he is at the back. And, Daniel Ricciardo still has a chance to score points. He's P9 currently. Lap 67. Lando Norris is catching Verstappen by a very small amount. George Russell is catching Hamilton very quickly. I would much prefer Hamilton to get a podium than George Russell. Come on, Lewis. I don't like you very much, but go on for the boys. Daniel Ricciardo ahead of Esteban Ocon. That is huge for Danny Rick. Go on, Shan. 4 points for RB would be lovely in this situation, but you gotta feel for Tsunoda. He makes the mistake. Lando Norris on the radio. Lando Norris is calling for a safety car, but there's only 2 laps left, so if they call a safety car, it will end under a safety car. There is a lot of debris on the track, though. They might just call a VSC to get someone on the track and clear it. But there is a lot of, like, bollard. Right. Down the straight, can Russell get a move done on Lewis Hamilton? Here he comes, Hamilton on the defense. Russell goes to the inside of Hamilton, and George Russell gets ahead of Hamilton up to P3. That's really annoying. Cringe, cringe, cringe alert, cringe alert, cringe alert. Fuck you, Russell, prick. Penultimate lap begins. 3 seconds between Lando and Verstappen. Lando is probably going to finish P2 in this race with Verstappen P1. Oh. So, good move from Russell. Doesn't help the fact it's still very annoying. Here's a Verstappen replay of something. Taps the wall to champions. Of course, he is a champion, so he's allowed to hit the wall. And Hamilton is dropping back massively outside of Russell's DRS. So, we begin the final as Gasly up to P9. Where the fuck do you come from? Alright, cool. So, the final lap of this race begins now. Here we go. Final lap. Max Verstappen, 3-second lead over Norris. Russell, 1.7 back. Hamilton right there. Oscar Piastri, 4 seconds back. We have Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo looking very good for a P8 finish. Pierre Gasly ahead of Esteban Ocon in P10. Nico Hülkenberg only 3 tenths away from a potential final lap points finish for Haas. Round sector 1. And how many wins is Verstappen on now? 54 or 55 after this? Coming to the end of lap 62, Lando Norris could have won this race by 50 years. If he pitted under that first safety car, this entire race could have been so different. Can Hamilton get a final lunge on George Russell? This is going to be interesting to look at. 0.8, I know, 0.6, but Russell also... Wait, Russell has DRS on Lando. Oh, shit. This is going to be very close. Max Verstappen round the final chicane. Max Verstappen wins the Canadian Grand Prix. We are back to basics. Lando Norris is going to be very close across the line. Lando Norris takes P2. George Russell P3. Lewis Hamilton P4 with the fastest lap. Mercedes can be proud of that performance. That is a good result for Mercedes. Fernando Alonso P5, P6, sorry. Oscar Piastri P5, Fernando Alonso P6. Lance Stroll P7. It's a good result for those cars. Daniel Ricciardo takes P8. 4 points for RB. Gasly and Ocon pick up a double points finish for Alpine. Hülkenberg P11. Magnussen P12. Valtteri Bottas P13. Yuki Tsunoda P14. Zhou Guanyu a lap down in P15. Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc and Logan Sargent all DNFing. GG's. Good shit all round. Do you know what? I don't mind Verstappen winning all the time because I like him. But the only thing I don't like about it is he's so unenthusiastic when he wins. Like, he's just won a hectic race. And he's just like, yeah, I mean, we made the correct decisions to go on the right tyres at the right time. Well done, everyone. There's no sort of happy emotion whatsoever. So that is the race done. That was a very good race. Is it the best race of the season? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't know. I will say, though, the races have, you know, gone up a lot this season already. I mean, you look at the first 3 or 4 races, you thought it was going to be business as usual. Max Verstappen just winning everything. But, I mean, you know, we had Miami with Lando Norris, you know, taking the win. Australia, we had Carlos Sainz winning after a Verstappen DNF. But even that race, there was one overtake between the top 8. Do you know what I mean? In Monaco, you know, although it was boring, it was still, you know, Ferraris and McLarens. We come to Canada, raining, dry, McLaren's looking quick, McLaren's going slow, Mercedes coming out of nowhere, Verstappen somehow still managing to win. I think it was a good race. I don't think it was the best race, but a very easy second. I do think that Miami was the best race, purely because you had Lando in front, Verstappen slowly chasing him down. But yeah, I mean, final notes before I head off and have some din-dins. I mean, I think Lando can be a bit pissed off. If he pitted for fresh inters under that first safety car, he could have very well won this race by an absolute country mile. I think Mercedes can be very happy with a P3 and 4. Although they started P1, McLarens and Red Bulls were clearly quicker and they beat one of the McLarens, so I think that's good for them. I think Verstappen can be extremely pleased. He was clearly, like, very good, but to still win that race. And obviously, McLaren and Mercedes both had a teammate to back themselves up, like Russell and Norris. Verstappen doesn't get that. He doesn't ever get that. He doesn't get a teammate to help him out, because Perez, down in P16, stayed P16 for the entire duration of the race before he spun off on his own and crashed and had to DNF. Carlos Sainz having a very silly crash as well, almost identical to Perez, and taking out Albon with him. Albon should have scored points today, but because of that incident, it allowed Daniel Ricciardo to go and score some points. Daniel Ricciardo finally getting some points. Well done from him. Tsunoda, in a point-scoring position, bottles it, spins off, and finishes a lowly P15, the last of the finishers other than Guan Yu Zhou. But can you even count Guan Yu Zhou as a finisher? I mean, my guy was a lap down the entire race. What are we doing? Disappointing for Logan Sargent, you know, starting P13 or wherever it was, and to crash twice and DNF is not what you want. And Lance Stroll in his home Grand Prix to come home P7, I think is a good result all round. So that's going to be all from me. That is all for the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. Just before I head off, the next Grand Prix, I believe, is going to be in 2 weeks' time. Another 2-week break, unfortunately, and it is going to be the Spanish Grand Prix. And then we have a triple header, I believe. Am I correct in saying that? Yes, I am. We have a triple header after this, so hectic. We've got 4 European races in a row. Spain, Austria, Britain. I'll be back streaming on YouTube for the Spanish Grand Prix on the 21st of June. And then throughout the next week, I will try and stream some days on the Twitch and Kick, some F1 24, do like a Williams to glory. I'm not too sure yet. But we'll go from there. So that's going to be all from me for this weekend. Thanks to anyone that tuned in. And I will see you lot next time, whenever that will be. See you then. Bye. Bye. See ya.